our YouTube channel at Promise TV UG. Promise TV UG without space. Please, you can catch up on this discussion, Bobambo Jimisinze, or probably anything. Always, or Dayoku YouTube at Promise TV UG, and you'll have this conversation going. Please join us.
Well, you get a navy blue passport. And I remembered that time I got that passport. My it is a navy blue. That is the most struggle, hustle, fighting, tooth and nail.
I tell you, say, Wabedanga over Gaya, Babedanga, Quintana affairs, Mam, Yagala passport, Yamoku Yambe. No, and until they ruled them out. Now, no again, no Ingida Nenga, over middleman now. My passport, Yamituala, Vidimeta, no Fundi Kirango, Mazeka, Kakadekalam.
Was it less than that at that time, or surprisingly
Kakade Kalamba.
Yes. No, at that time the Ministry of Internal Affairs. By the way, I don't know what Angel you really wanted to ask, but yes, it was less. You can.
It was less, not 250.
Of course, it was supposed to be less, but people paid more.
People paid more
because of the middleman.
Yeah, those who use middlemen paid more.
No, Susan, what about to have spending almost like a Kadekalamba Ukufuna?
Never needs a passport here.
But brokers, the middlemen.
Me, I suffered, and I think the reason why some of them would go for brokers. Katibakubuze ebintunga simanya tambulanga omuganda simanyanga akabiro kati nabigwa
ate kati for you kati nga gwe okugenda yongo ogamba egwe nasanga
omusajja
yangoba
yangamba go back, bring your school documents. I want to know whether you're from Uganda, whether you studied in Uganda. Nenga nadin sasulide express. Nanyiga. I had to do all that. For me it was a struggle. Yet it was an express passport.
Wow.
We see in the Daily Monitor, the Ministry of Internal Affairs have done, but it's going to destroy 158,000 passports. When that is a big number. Just imagine, are they going to ban them? Are they going to tear them up? Ate when yonge dokwetegereza nindaba nti 158,000 nenebuuza how many Ugandans have passport. Nentuka realizing that it's 1.5 million Ugandans
that
have passports.
But Angel Chimanyi nti in July 2024 era still Internal Affairs, Ministry of Internal Affairs, but destroying 60,000 passports.
60,000.
And actually on top of that, you know, someone may think that it's the first time it's happening.
Yes.
A report was made, still the spokesman of the Internal Affairs, Mr. Simon Peter Mudei, he came out and said, and he said that period they destroyed 20,000 passports, and these were passports for 2018, 2019, and 2020. Numbers again is reducing because that was 20,000. They destroyed 20,000. Zambia they destroyed 60,000. 60.
But now they want to
1,550.
158,000. That's double. Big.
Yes. Passports. Of course, Mr. Simon Monday in his address, Yagambi, bakubira abantu bano okugenda okupikinga passports zaabwe nga bakozesa toll-free lines zaabwe eza Internal Affairs nga amasimu tegaliiko bwe basindikanga messages mu bubaka owa SMS abantu bano era still nga tebafuna kubanga amasimu tegakola tegabaako. But also we need to remember that in 2023 that's when Uganda transitioned into the polycarbonate e-passports zeza kale ya blue gye bamentioninzeeko alia era nga zino ziri electronic ate ziri ezasooka zali totally paper based. So kakati when you look at this factor botunulamu passports zino ezayonooneddwa, he highlighted it that these passports, the 158,000 zali passports ziri enkadde eza navy blue kubanga kati jjukira bangi abaali basasulidde processing these passports.
Yes.
And then of course this is according to the Daily Monitor. He says ze passports zino enkadde so kati abantu bwe balaba nga batransitioninze kati kitegeeza eyo batokyagyetaaga really ng'ate bakoze passport empya kati eri ebegenda kutwala wat so that's why I think
and you know they get a lot of money from this passport because that report that I've given you zino zibali bagenda okwocha is up from 2018, 19 and 2020 he said that people they were worth 60 billion Ugandan shillings 60 billion. 60 so meaning the more passports that are banned, the more money. Kati ne wasanganga omuntu agitaddeyo
kati zineno zebagenda okwocha emitwalo 15 mwaka 8 beba zezo 39 billion point 5 and that is just in 2024.
Wow.
But also there is a cause that the spokesperson talked about. People you know, when they are filling in their details, it's awokuteka 0 nateka o. So when they send messages, message abatajifuna.
So that's their problem.
Of course, the applicant's problem.
That's the
applicant's problem. Kubanga kati now they have put in a place of 0, they have put O. And then there are also other people who fear because Stuart mentioned in the beginning that there were middlemen usually that stood outside internal affairs but now the fear of someone say you must come by yourself. This is a personal document and the system gets one person one by one. That is how Sue got into that. That you get there, they want to see your physical appearance. They want to know if you actually know what you are talking about, the things that the information that you have given them. Because and I know very many people who are in Sue's category again who feared to go back for their passports. To make clarifications because now you know how for example a child grows up in Kampala and they don't know their totem, they don't know their clan, they don't know anything.
They don't even know their close grandparents.
Yes, so all that information is needed currently. So if you don't have that information, ojagenda yo fine, first of all you will not even proceed, but the fear of you going. But now when you go and you tell narrate to your friends what you have experienced that who applied, because that system, by the way, you apply online. Let us talk about even address. How many people know or were able to use the online system.
And the requirements
that accompany. Because I know my sister kept asking me that, hey, so now which sub-county? Is it this one or this one? Now, you know, ngatamanyi wa kutandikira. And now that system, what usually happens is that when you go, when you're done this side and you don't cross-check, ogenda okusanga there are some things that were not filled in. So you send. When you send, you wait. Kati ogenda okusanga there is no response, there is no, you know, communication. So there are so many mishaps that are happening that give people reason. First of all, webanga yayitamu ono nawulira nti ebyange no tebyayitamu ate you applied at the same time. You will fear to go and say ebyange kirabika tebyayitamu. So
online. I remember when they just introduced the online system. This was 2018. And you would get there. Remember, you have to make an appointment. Surely it's an emergency. Let's talk about these people who are going for honeymoons. Never kuwa appointment. Ngiri like 4 months ahead. Nagamba, why would I bother myself? I would rather go through a middleman. And in this report, the spokesman said that the challenge with the middlemen bachikola intentionally to give wrong information so that they can keep getting money from the people. Kati ye kubanga manyi bazimuwadde nezigenda wakwa all the information obusente obusibungi nnyo bwe balyako. So they keep extorting the money from these people. Kyova nti wesanga once so the 250, I don't even know how much they pay for with a middleman. Or that's like 450. Which should be for an express.
On the middleman that you have.
Yes,
and people don't actually know that in that new system, the middleman was totally eliminated. Yes.
Now, I think the most the middleman can do is to help you registering our ecosystem. Sub-counter this, sub-counter that.
You know, Jay has raised something very important. What about now Uganda Batamaina process here online?
True.
Now, I feel before you attempt to fill in that online document, you must know the procedures. Nalavanti, you open that an account, and then you start to fill in those details. Bakubuza, your mother, your father, where they come from,
their grandparents, your first generation,
your clan, your totem.
You print that document, right? No genda mu banka no sasula. Omala kusasula, then you come back and open for an appointment. What Susie talked about, until you find 4 months right ahead. So if you don't book early, it becomes quite hard. But Stuart Anachinchaya reasons about the expired passports. Neze staliko. Until uwabanga iyo teliko baji punch, they put a punch in it, right? Yes, Stuart.
But you know, your daily monitor was 31st December 2024. That's when the UAE denied visas to not only Uganda but 20 other African countries. Now, these Mami Simon Monday, in the report, he said passports ezisinga kuzino zabadde zaba drivers, housemaids, neighbor security guards abaali baagala okugenda okufuna emirimu in the UAE. Ne badinayingibwa visas. So passports ezimu kuzino ezigenda okuwonoonebwa zezo.
That thing keeps coming back. But that thing keeps coming back. Kubangera ne mweri report yagamba nti those companies ezitwala abantu ebweru, they brought back 60,000 passports because abana bano bali babadinayinze employment. So they just brought them, and then you would wonder.
But that becomes a problem. Kubanga bakumye visa nekitegeza anti passport nayo siyamu.
Kati anti all of our challenge where they are bano these companies bagenda under one person. So if we are the company, we could choose that I'm then responsible for all the passports. Now, if we ever have a problem and I get out of the company, you cannot access these passports.
And they withhold your passport.
Anti designer all the information. I'm the one in the company designer all the information. All the other applicants who have come for employment.
But that still becomes a very big problem. Based on the internal affairs, the way it operates. Stuart agenda ku office ya internal affairs ku Port Bell Road. No genda no nga bakuwadde appointment no ddamu ebibuuzo ebikubuuzibwa then ku lunaku olwo bakuwadde okupikinga passport yo no genda no gyepikingera in person. Kakati where the problem comes nti ate okuddamu ate n'ogiwa omuntu ono ow'ekitongole kino. I think that's where we really get a problem.
But I think that happened before they introduced the online.
But what highly disturbs me is when you look at 158,000, it's one of the highest numbers we have really had. And 158,000 on to 1.5 million Ugandans who have passports. That is 10.5%. And the papers or the documents or the requirements used to make a passport are important. Because last year the Ministry of Internal Affairs came out and said that hey, we're still waiting on these papers to be documented, to be imported into the country. Zino sente zonna nebanegana bataddemu sente. So me, I'm wondering, like, where does it leave us at? and especially wagambye abamu tebatuukibwako. Then I said, did some died? Did their gigs fail?
I'm sure some died. I'm sure some died.
Maybe some other reason before we even get to where you want us to go. There was a time in December 2024 when the fiber cable at Old Port Bell Road was cut down and the internet was shut down. From internal affairs. So it disrupted
there was a system of registration.
And so it caused the delays. But well, the thing about having this system in place, first of all, is very important. That you and I have to, the Ministry of Internal Affairs has to be able to have a system that is stable without any
Power disruptions.
But also internet, stable internet.
Yes.
Naye waliwo n'ekirala kye tulaba kye tutakoonyeeko nti no waliyo storage constraints bannayuganda ze batamanyi kwegamba agenda n'applyingira passport eno ate ye n'atafaayo to do due diligence. So this piling up of different passports. Do you know that backlog actually delays
more production.
More production.
Yes.
On omupya.
Kubanga tewaliyo space gye bagenda kuteeka mpya ze baprinting.
So kati ogenda okusanga nti all these things are bringing issues and it's because all of us don't know the reason why we are told pick your passport on the 2nd of May.
Yes. And not
any other day. Simply because they want your group to get out and then Angel's group comes in. Because it's a system.
But I think it's inevitable really having the storage constraints because abantu botugambye the number of people that we have 1 million and what
1.5 million
1.5 those that have
out of the 45.
And yes, yet here they're going to destroy 158,000 katina labira ddala space is it's not enough.
Susie, it's not even about space. But when you get to think about this, is that some Ugandans have a mindset of saying, "It's a sinaje ngenda, ndiwa masaka, ninafida mu gwanga lyange, ninetaka lyange," like that kind of mindset. Because very few people look at passport as though it's for those Ugandans that have made it, that are classic, that have maybe international connection. But every Ugandan is entitled to a passport.
Naye waliwo ekintu Stuart kye yakoonyeeko these companies that bring people. You know that when that also Sue mentioned it briefly. You know that when there is now ebyogende bweru biganye nabagamba you're supposed to go on 22nd notagenda omuntu ajja
passport ekyanga saki ekyo kyekibadde kigenda okuntwala ebweru
nkubulire that thing because this spokesman you're pointing out on some of the places webaje passport season he named places like Gulu Mbara Mbale abantu mubane tumaga picking a passport somewhere ne Chambogo and
Chambogo ane wafe
but you know Gondo also Chambogo is the storage place and that's why the Internal Affairs has the storage.
Now this is where they have their storage facilities.
Let us also make this very clear.
Yes.
That the registration process is at the Ministry of Internal Affairs. While Chambogo is a pick-up point. It's a collection point. Kakata abantu bayinza okubanga tebamanyi.
Now what you are going to pick the passports
But you people, speaking about that, I remember a time when I went to renew my passport, and this correlates with what Simon Mundei says. He said that the Wogenda Munda, and you see the number of people there. you are forced to believe that all these people
Yes,
have
are
passports.
passports.
But he said when they transition to remove the brokerage, brokerage to the online, actually the number drastically reduced from 3,000 to 1,000 people. And you know, New Vision 2022 was revealing that the demand for passport had dropped by 33%.
Wow.
You know, and I said, hey, Chilakaba in Uganda, they believe passports, Zaba, Bali, classing,
But you know, Gondi, when Ugandans were denied the visa, because the UAE gave a reason why they actually denied visa. They said over 2,000 Ugandans went to Dubai on tour visas, tourism visas, and they overstayed for a longer period, and some of them didn't even come back. And they say, this is of course according to the Daily Monitor, the article that came in the Daily Monitor, according to 25th December 2024, they said bag ended up with tourism visas, but the Ugandan government didn't make efforts to repatriate them. And that is part of the reason why on 31st they denied Ugandans visas. Abalala abali baaplayinze abali bagenda mawanga mugundi mu bifo ebyo bya UAE.
But
the Arab Emirates.
they didn't allow, they didn't deny all of them.
They didn't deny all of them.
passport no
nasalawo okugirekayo munnanga ate nga mwami munde yagambye endala passport kakaaga 6,000 are on the verge of being destroyed. This endala kakaaga ziri already bagenda destroying, but why when there are 6,000
the new version,
yes, that are about to be destroyed because the owners have not picked them.
You know, we have to consider something. We want to get as a trend before COVID and after COVID. The curve of people going abroad increased. Like, people now have realized that maybe in Uganda there are no opportunities for them. Let me go and be maybe a security man. Let me go and be whatsoever, maybe a house help out there. It will help. You're going to this country, the company is withholding your passport and you have no right. I believe that fact of UAE turning down very many people is no passports.
That is very true. Na yate waliwo ensonga endala Mr. Simon Monde gye yayogeddeko n'agamba nti no these the owners of these companies, I think it is also illegal for them to hold passports.
They do that illegally. But because Robatwala are desperate.
So kati when these people who were supposed to be exported as labor did not turn up for those jobs, those passports were also returned to the Ministry of Internal Affairs.
I think that would be wrong because if someone has applied for a passport through your company, meaning they will come back for it someday, then you're taking it back to Internal Affairs.
And it is illegal for the company to
stay with it.
So they rather return them to the Internal Affairs. Internal Affairs netuka ku muntu oyo.
Nesuze wakonye ku kintu ky'okubanga passport esinga bazisigaza. Nagendako ku Ministry of Internal Affairs and I realized that the people there actually speak local language.
True.
70% speak local language. And that's why
they don't speak English?
No, they do speak English. What she's trying to say is that the communication gap should not even be close to a threat. Passport. Where are you from? This side.
naye okimanyi nti nno not necessarily because omuntu ayinza okukolako eyo test or interview ayinza okuba nsi muganda
ayita munne ne baku-interviewinga in the language you understand.
The person who interviewed me was not a muganda.
That is true.
Because I think when they're employing these people, they ask you, how many languages can you speak?
And what I know about that is that webalaba ng'otamwatamwa nga bamanya nti this one is not clear, because there is something they want to there is a system they want to put in place at the internal affairs, a system that can trace your origin, your father, your mother. Now there are these people who were adopted.
Yes.
Oh dear.
You don't put your adoption you put your father, whether deceased or alive.
You are right.
You put your but now waliwo abaana nga tebabimanya ebintu ebyo. That is why bwe bakulaba ng'otamwatamu omuntu teyeetaaga kumanya okuba muganda okumanya nti tomanyi
naye nedda omanyi kankubuulire. Do you guys people judgmental? Yes, because you're looking, because of the way I look doesn't stop me from being a Muganda. But of course nizogenda akabiro sikakola ki ati olaba ebintu ebyo ebimu kuba tugenda kufuna passport enkya oba we're going to apply for it tomorrow wenyendo ogenda mbuze bannange akabiro ko mami kyeki you get.
First of all wawe ebibuuzo ebimu bye batagenda kubuuza kasita bakulaba nga oli confident about yourself and ekirala by the time you go to picking a passport actually aside from you picking a passport nga munnauganda ng'omuntu oyina okuba nga omanyi about yourself. Teweetaaga kusooka kubeera in a situation where you need a passport n'olyoka ogenda okutandika okugamba nti ate munnange kakati mpozi jjajja yaani
Stuart, I am Muganda.
No, I'm not a Muganda.
But well, on that note, Susie, your experience was, I'm sorry for that experience. Naye kubanga wetegereza nnyo abantu abakola in that ministry are tough.
Yes.
It's hard to meet one who will smile as welcome. Where do you come from?
Yeah.
Who are you? Who are your parents?
Exactly.
Are they alive? Like they are fun.
Because you know why I'm saying that? You have my documents. No, let me tell you, because anyway, I think we also need to know how does the express process work. Because those are what we call express. Anyway, I don't even expect an interview.
Susan,
and let me tell you,
express techigenda kubanga ensonga kibakubuuza ebibuuzo ebyo. It's to verify whether you are Ugandan and you have your roots here.
That I have told you I'm a Ugandan. And before I said,
do you know how many people go to those offices, to the internal affairs, nebagenda and they send the Muganda.
And some people are crooks actually.
Nagamba ndi Muganda nenga si Muganda nenga they have just decided. So ekikubuuza ebibuuzo bino is to confirm the mere fact that ogambye oba owandiise ku form nti ndi Muganda tekiproving nti oli Munnayuganda. That's why oli bwakutunuulira kalaba nga tofaanana Baganda ajja kugenda mu maaso okubuuza specific questions.
Kankubulire omanyi lwaki? Do you know what? Because of these intermarriages, God, Mukama nyambi nsobodde okubuulira my side for the lady. I have told you my side for my mother. Byonna mbituuse otegedde essimu na Uganda and immediately make a phone call. Wagambye no Munnayuganda biki nedda nyabo ddayo ewaka nfunira sima yanga gye wasomera nfunira passport ya tatawo. I feel like you're embarrassing me.
You're confident about all that then
I'm confident and it's a very emotional interview.
So did you pick up your
I had to go back to a point where my mother offered to escort me ndi mchala mkulu. Just give me your things. I go and prove myself that my school documents days from primary.
Well, if you're watching us, or if you have just joined us, we are exploring on the 158,000 uncollected passports that are yet to be destroyed. Do you have your passport right there? Let us know your thoughts, and you can use the number scrolling on your screen. It's our WhatsApp number, or you can send us a direct SMS. That is 0746405060, or tagging on our social media handles at Promise TV UJ across TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We'll be reading those comments that will be coming in. Let's dive back into the Oh, Susie. I'm sorry for that experience.
Yeah, I hope. But someone told me recently that the new system now is better.
It is.
And it's very smooth.
It's smooth.
But
So I
just to
hope
clarify a
that's
bit, the mere fact that you're applying for Express, Express eyambako just kwanguya process ordinary oba etali express egenda kutwala mu weeks zibeeranga 2 ku 3 but express they give you a specific time.
Let's actually break down that if someone wants an ordinary passport by no kuteeka wali 250,000.
Yes.
Bagala express passport, that is 400,000. 250,000 for the passport
Isn't it
and
450?
150,000 for the processing fee. Then the passports also range. Eya slave blue, eya ordinary, eya green, jabaita service passport, neya red jabaita yaba diplomat. You know, an express etwala naku biri, etwala naku biri okujifuna, ate ya ordinary etwala naku 10 okubanga ojifuna.
And to highlight, gundi okubanga or applying for express passport, don't think you're not going to go through verification and being asked questions because bino ebibuuzo bye bakubuuza babikubuuza because they want to be clear and certain nti ddala you are what you claim to be. Kakati bwogenda okwapplyinga for express, they will still ask you these questions and please be ready to answer them. But neera naawe ng'omunnayuganda oba okikakasa nga oli munnayuganda and you're applying for a Ugandan passport, why don't you prepare yourself prior nomanya kikyoli kubanga at a certain point era ogenda kwetaaga okuddamu ebibuuzo ebifaanaganako ng'ebyo nga si mu office ya passport ya bondi ya internal affairs yokka. So please first go back and trace your roots omanye nti tuva wano jajja wange yegundi all those things.
Olava Stewart, me I think okay, this goes back to our parents to teach us our cultures. I was embarrassed one time in secondary. Esemangalilimu gundi ya mbogo
nkoba za mbogo
omwana nangamba tambula ng'omuganda
nawe nostuka
kati we had long skirts because it was a Muslim school. It was a Muslim school. Honestly, people, it was embarrassing and I never forgot it. And I learned nenji kwata skirt ngaba kwata gomes nentambula and what? And I'm like, because me, I didn't say anything funny about it. And they told me, no. When we say that, we mean you should tell us your roots. Who is your grandfather? Kulanya. Who is your grandfather? Who is my father to your grandfather? And I was like, oh, okay. And those are some of the things when you interview. It's my father to your father, your mother. Kabilo, your clan, and those other things.
It's always, and actually to the parents out there, please be certain of your family tree and pass it on to your children so that in such situations
they have an idea.
But maybe we should talk about the notification process. Do you think people that that process is easy? Or SMS. Even people take it serious because that is the way we get to know whether this passport is ready for collection or pickup or not. But there are people who don't mind about messages.
I miss like any other message.
I tell there are people who delete their messages
before they read them.
It's in Uganda where we have people who don't actually read messages. They rarely read messages in their phones. Yeah, better laws and your local airtime about Airtel over saying say that you have loaded airtime this, you've loaded mobile money this, and kati nafundikiranga ne messages is really important. There are very many Ugandans who actually don't read messages.
You know, I'm forced to believe at some point that bana Uganda buying zokubanga ba applying a passports just to have an airplane experience.
I think I differ on that.
Yes, Stuart.
Abo bayinza okubanga batono munna Uganda watuukira okukwata emitwalo egyabiri okugenda okujjayo passport aba agyetaaga.
Do you know the crazy thing that G actually raised regarding that SMS? When I leave kunona passport yange, a guy had forged, you know how this message, the SMS is sent to you and then you forward it to me? Because these guys at Internal Affairs, they are also taught psychologically to read someone. That is why they are tough. They tell you this one is not right, this one is wrong. So they want to shiv out Ugandans. We saw the people from the Banyarandas who were denied to receive passports because of maybe their background. ekintu kinene woyengera okubanga okyetegereza ojja kusanga nti abantu abafuna passport sometimes they are looking at greener pastures outside Uganda. Like we echoed that point earlier. But Kati, what should government do in other words to help people? Because reasons SMS is not enough. Maybe we should receive direct calls. And then also for them, maybe abakola mugunde, like for example the driving license, tebakiriza the workers to have phones. Even the same in the internal affairs, to cut off any form of corruption cases or it's
so bundi ekirala, you know what they used to do with I think they still do it with the national IDs. Nti they come back kumuluka and ne bagamba nti bano bali muluka bwekifo bwekiti Susan ava mu kifo bwekiti ava mu kifo kino bwekiti ne bajja ne badeliveringa gundi national ID. So nze ndowooza I think the internal affairs needs to consider that lwakuba nti olumu kiyinza okuteeka security y'omuntu matigga naye kyalibadde nti omuntu bw'abanga applying the passport, you look down at the details of where they live and the next of kin ne mujja ne mudeliveringa that passport nti kigondiza abeegundi passports zammwe tuzitadde kugombolola mujje mu speaking one. I think it would do
and
better.
And it can't just be a one-ended because you apply to get your passport, so you must speak it. I think there should be an adoption of maybe a phone, or a phone that calls you and says, Monage, your phone is, your passport is ready.
Angel, told it Mr. Simon Monday saying that they've been calling some people and people were not even picking.
He highlighted it. Yagambye bakozesa their toll-free lines to call people and
so maybe it is also another opportunity for Ministry of Internal Affairs to adopt other systems or other ways. For example, partnering with these companies,
communication companies,
the labor companies that keep getting people labor, that export labor. Now, instead of this company bringing back the passports to internal affairs, Netumanya, Stewart Company, International, what has number 2, 3, so 10 companies have so many the passports of the individuals. So accountability is there. So what could happen in that case is that as this labor company receives these passports, they can easily account for them. So that now there is no backlog the other side. Atebo benyini bekubirira abantu babwe ne babagamba nti kakati jini bani come for your passport.
Wekiba kigendera okubeereramu obuzibu ekyo jini nti abantu bano abagundi olaba it's already they are not allowed to hold your passport. Naye bwe babanga bakutwala they hold your passport until the money is paid back. So wayinza okubeerawo some possible kind of extortion of money okuva ku bantu which you wouldn't want. I think the best way it would be done with the labor companies is kubagamba nti muina details z'abantu bano webati kakati tukoze tutya tukwataganye tutya abantu bano okubatuusaako passports zaabwe kubanga ekituufu kiri nti they paid for these passports. So I really want to believe gundi yeta internal affairs, Ministry of Internal Affairs yetaaga okutandika okuleeta these services down probably to sub-county level nti omuntu nti gundi ava mu kifo bwekiti mugombolera bweriti. So let's deliver their passport at their sub-county.
But Stewart, the spokesperson, he came and said, yeah, Jana Gamanti, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop talking about it. That's why we've seen him coming back over and over again. Ngatugamba, we're going to ban these zones, we're going to destroy these zones. But anyway, he laid back some, he produced some information or contacts that people can reach out to.
To get their passports.
Yeah, I gave him my information. Probably my passport could be among those ones. Now numbers and different things to use. It can be phone number. You can call 041 710 2600. Or you can send a tweet at DCIC Uganda. Or at MIA, which is MIA,
Ministry of Internal Affairs.
and the Kadash Uganda. That's what he said. So in case you feel like maybe your passport is there, or probably bakuba, because most cases bakuba mnujugum. Bakuba and you missed a call, or you didn't even know the ones that are calling. You can reach out to these numbers or these emails and send them your email so they can give you a way forward.
And you know, okay, yes.
Sorry, Angel, but it's also important for Ugandans to know that this thing of getting scared about high places, we put it aside.
That mindset.
Your mindset, your gamba, banange, abakuka bagenda mu internal affairs, your office, yabantu bakulu. Anyway, the truth of the matter is, it is intimidating okutuukayo n'osanga ng'abasirikale beebaaza abantu. This is internal affairs. Ate kyo, it is mandatory, army has to be there, alert, internal affairs. So it is an important place. Kati mukwano, totya system bwetyo, ate system kati yavudde ku mpapula, kati eri ku online. Okitegeera kati byeyigiriza ebintu bino kubanga kati ojja genda otye okubyekolera ate still ofuna omuntu atakujjeko essente nyingi ate kati naawe otya okugenda Ministry of Internal Affairs kuba olabawo abasirikale bangi. No, go get acquainted to the system. Kubanga system bwetyo bweyagala abantu tebakyayagala nti tugende ate tutandika okuyita mu middlemen ate Uganda get ripped and you know all these things. So it's very important for people to know that this system is actually there and it is usable. And just like you are seeing it there on our screen, you must be able to know how to fill in this information, fill in your name, your address, things that can lead you to, to getting this passport much easier instead of you going through a middleman.
But Jen, do you think that really the middlemen banavira odara? Because we say the passport is free for everybody can get it, and we've noticed usually banabana bagenda, some of them are not well educated simply because they've gotten an opportunity to go and work. Kati there are places ojogena ngo muntu tamayina kuandika linyali. I mean, we've seen these people, they don't know how to, they're illiterates, so they will need someone to be
but
of help.
They have hope to go abroad and work.
They go because everybody gets an opportunity. They go naye kati nga tamanyi kuwandiika tamanyi kusoma.
Middleman gwe twogerako yono gw'osasula ssente okutandika process kuba face yes yegenda okubeerayo face yo you can pay 5,000 to get someone to help you fill in the information, which is okay, just like you are seeing it on the screen. You should be able to fill in that information, very vital. Naye chintu ekyokugamba nti kakati information has been sent to Ministry of Internal Affairs ate kati gwotidde okugenda to the next step. Especially if you are not a criminal. There is a backlog. Abantu batya okweyongerayo. Ate still tulina n'okumanya nti no tekikoma ku Ministry of Internal Affairs. Bw'omaleeyo process oyina ogenda Kyambogo oba Mbarara kuba bakubuuza where do you want to pick your passport from? Is it Gulu, Mbarara or so you have to be able to know where you're going to pick your passport from.
Ate nekirala aba security ababeera ku bifo ebyo, they don't have a problem. Tebali awo kuba nti bagenda ku bakambemu because they have to be strict because it's their job.
And they want to promote order.
Yes. Omanyi akavuyo akabeeranga ku Internal Affairs.
Nigweza line ozimanya.
Internal Affairs yabangako akavuyo nga oyitawo ku ssaawa 11 nga naye nga line report beero okwo ekomeeringa ku abatwa yes okitegeera like it was so much ne kakati bwe babeerawo they promote this order asooseewo yabeera on the line and I think it's really okay. So there is no reason for you to fear to go to internal affairs because of the security people there okujja konga probably
mpozi tulina okutegeeza abantu baffe odia enjo nti omuntu bw'oyingira oyina akapapula k'ofuna akakapapula ennamba eyo aye togifunyafunya gwe listen to that number obeere nga otuula mu kifo kimu bw'owulira nti no number so and so go to counter this ng'okwata ekubo ng'ogenda we bakugambye pay attention kubanga abantu abasinga by the way bagenda ne bafuna that ka print out ate nadda ku TikTok n'ateekamu obuntu mu matu ne bayita and actually bo tebatawaana naawe bakuyita bachi yamwe bweggwako nga bagamba what's your number no out done. Come back to no wasting time. No, they don't want idlers there.
Abagunda aba UDLS bayita manya ne kati internal affairs ndo tebalina nyobo bakuyita
kubanga kati nabayo bakuyite already wasasula so you're not dealing with money there. Bova wano ogenda wali no genda mu line ya kafananyi bova mu kafananyi no genda ne bakuyita ogenda mu room bova mu room atawo obo maliriza process fuluma genda kakati bobanga batch yo we wajide eyisewo ate they are not going to go back to fuluma
Malinda was antine telecommunications companies sopola working together with the
internal affairs yes
banga wala abantu wetaga sim card needs to use a national ID ate chimanyi waone backlog mo national IDs na tunatuka yo monera there could be even more huge backlog right there na yet those telecommunication companies zisobola okuyamba because even the police works with it to crack down maybe criminals actually nabafena bagenze bakendera ko though they are getting new tactics they were told that kino cha passport twetegereza okulaba nti if telecommunications companies are worked together with or in collaboration zita kuyamba or cracking down where these people are because a maid who came to work and maybe the boss gave her the number or the number na yene national ID ya kosa ya mutoma ya kusai okufuna eyo maybe SIM card and she's nowhere to be tracked. I think it would be a good deal if Ministry of Internal Affairs collaborates with these telecommunication companies okumanya where they are. How can we crack down on this? This is money. By the time they are importing things from outside and bring them to Uganda, then it's quite alarming.
Yes.
And absolutely. Also, jakutunulamu nti kati waliwo omwana yali lukunjiri yali mitoma yali in those probably different remote places nga ne sente ezimujjayo jukira yali azze ngage passport yali agenda kuba kyeyo kakati n'atasobola kuyita mu visa n'egaana kati nga ne sente zimukomyawo to the collection point probably nazo tazirina abamu ku bonga nga tajjukira nakujjukira nti bamugamba nti this is the collection point so I think it also becomes a problem nti ayinza okuba nga aliyo nga tamanyi nakumanya nti passport yakola ki yafuluma talina na sente zigenda kugipikinga so I think those above all twetaaga the Ministry of Internal Affairs yetaaga okusensitizing abantu
and also the other thing is woba bagambye mbu abantu bali 158,000 and I want to enter inside and the policemen are tough. It could be something else, but I'm glad that Susie shared some contacts where someone can maybe send those numbers.
You have to go there personally either way.
You have to face them.
People. Me, I disagree. Those people, Sinti Babi.
They're not bad.
They're just there to check you. And they're strict on someone who is not disciplined.
No, kankubulire. Boyingira bwoti. Toyina time magamaga nti nonize su.
Yes.
Eyo time teriwo. Immediately afanda gamba wake out. Songa mbele.
Because the other people
kubanga kati why are you looking that side? Who do the places here? Botukawo gendawo teka byozokola passport pick up funa kanamba ko enter sit listen
But remember, Obela was the appointment, right? You don't just go. You don't just go there. By the time you came, Obela Zengo mani or you appointment, you've gone to pick up your passport or you've gone to apply. Actually, what applying is it? So do what has taken you there and leave.
Ante bana Uganda twali twamanyira bwotuukako mukafo
how long is a passport valid? We need to let them know that it's 10 years.
Yes,
10 years. Same applies also for the national ID. It takes 10 years. I got 7 national ID to very expires.
Maybe Bambi Chasaslavo, Nagendeza Mwindi, those who the never blue passport, Golwa Kajifuna, these people are bad. And then they told them they are not allowed to have them, then we had to switch to the light blue ones.
Immediately. We also
Oh, definitely.
We encourage Ugandans that in as much as you may own a passport, you also have to be goal driven. Tojikwata nogiterekere. You know, omukisa ogunakwata munaga onamanya guyinza. Yes, omukisa nawuga mukusange. Awetesese in a better place. Tojikwata nogireka mu case yo, and the passports now, the new passports are better because the other card inside which has your details is waterproof.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, it's waterproof. So amazwe gayikako obaba josezam, still that is the core part of your passport.
Yeah, nagemtambuleko. Passport tojitereka mpaka omukise genda ke Nairobi goko to Rwanda
by bus at least tunemo ka stamp.
At least ka stamp ne passport ne gwako nga tofulumye nga choka wajisasulira.
That is Susie for you.
But well, ngamba bana Uganda tetutya. Let us do these things. Do our due diligence. Bobango osazeewo ntino ogenda kufuna passport. Ate by the way toyina nakulinda ntino ofune ate omuntu akutemyako waliyo deal eno ate otandika okudduka okola process. Start now, get your passport and keep it. It's good.
Well, I believe it's been an amazing show. Thank you so much, Joshua. We have Jackie Nafuna Bagamba. Thank you for the show. We have Chirabo Esther saying Molina passports oba molinga nganze. Then then also Jackie continues to say, "Bana, go and apply online." So there is another conversation of its own on YouTube. Promise Television. This is the Sunrise Show. We'll be seeing you tomorrow 6:45 to 9 a.m. to gobera kumtimbagana jafe jenjawole just social media at Promise TV UG era. From us to you, want to say thank you for being a great audience and participating. From us to you, we say bye bye. Coming up is the kindergarten.